Hello dear students, welcome to my channel. In this class we are going to study a concept known as molecularity. So in the last class we had learnt what is meant by order. What is an order of a reaction? It is the sum of the powers of the concentration terms in a rate expression. I told you that when you add the powers of all the concentration terms in a rate law or rate expression, we will get the order. And I told you that order can be 0 or a fraction or even a negative value. And importantly, it is an experimentally determined value. So now we are going to learn a molecularity. What is a molecularity? It is simply the number of molecules or atoms or ions involving in a chemical reaction. So it is the number of atoms or ions or the molecules involving in a chemical reaction. Let us define the molecularity. It is the number of species. Species means atoms or ions or molecules, any one thing depending on the reaction, that may be atoms or molecules or ions taking part in a chemical reaction to collide simultaneously and produce simultaneously to form the product. So actually, to understand this, what you have to understand is the reactant molecules will make collisions among themselves to form the products. So when they are colliding, what is the number of atoms or ions or molecules in that reaction are colliding simultaneously? That means at one time how many molecules are colliding? At one time how many molecules are colliding is known as the molecularity. So the number of ions or atoms in a chemical reactions that are colliding simultaneously to form the product is known as the molecularity. So for example, if one type is involving, then it is called as unimolecular, only one molecule. Let me write here. If you take this example here, ammonium nitrite, this is nitrite, ammonium nitrite, this one is, and it is on heating, it will give us water and nitrogen. So here the molecularity is 1. So it is called as a unimolecular reaction. Let me write one more example. If you take hydroiodic acid, on heating it will decompose to give off hydrogen and iodine. Here the molecularity is 2. We call it as a bimolecular reaction. So it is a unimolecular reaction and this one is a bimolecular reaction. Even there may be reactions like trimolecular reactions. Look here, nitric oxide combines with oxygen to give nitrogen dioxide. So here 3 molecules are there, so that it is called as a trimolecular reaction. What is the molecularity? 3, so that it is a trimolecular reaction. And rarely the molecularity exceeds 4. Molecularity greater than 3 is quite uncommon. Why it is uncommon? Let us see. So you have studied SN1 reaction, that is a nucleophilic substitution of unimolecular reaction or unimolecular nucleophilic substitution. In the same way, SN2 means a bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. That is the molecularity. But this molecularity has meaning only for the elementary reactions. So I am telling that we can write the molecularity. It is a theoretically determined value. Molecularity is a theoretical value, unlike order. Order is an experimentally determined value, but molecularity is a purely theoretical value. But here it is never 0. The molecular order can be 0, I told you, but molecularity is never 0 because at least there must be one molecule in the chemical reaction. Zero means there are no molecules. It is not possible. So molecularity is never zero, and also molecularity is never a fraction, and also molecularity is never a negative value. So it is always a whole number, and it is never zero. Already I told you, and never negative or a fraction. But I told you that it is valid only for the elementary reactions. So actually, if you take elementary reactions, that reactions are nothing but that will complete in a single step. The reactions which will be completed in single step are known as elementary reaction. But some will takes place by several steps, complex reactions. What are complex reactions? That has more than one step. So more than one step is existing. Two or more steps are present in a complex reaction. So that molecularity has the meaning only for the elementary reactions. For example, if you see some reactions like here I will write one reaction. So potassium chlorate, it will react with the ferrous sulfate in the presence of sulfuric acid to give rise to potassium chloride and ferric sulfate and water. So if you see this reaction here, it is 1 plus 6 plus 3. It seems to be of order 10. Actually it is a second order reaction. Even the molecularity seems to be 6 plus 3 plus 1. What we say, the molecularity is 10, because earlier just simply we counted the molecules and said the molecularity. But this is a complex reaction. So that here complex reactions we don't have a single step, that will occur through several steps. So that here actually the order for this reaction, just I am talking about the order, it is a second order reaction. But as per the number, if you see, it is a molecularity is 10 and you guess that order may be 10, but it is not true, because it's a complex reaction. For complex reactions I told you that molecularity has no significance or meaning. Even if you take one more example, the decomposition of hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide decomposes to give H2O and O2. Here also we will think it is a second order reaction. Just order, I am talking about order. Why I am telling that is complex reactions will have several steps. So that order will be decided by that slowest step of the reaction. I will tell. So if you see this reaction, decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, here also laterally it seems to be second order reaction, but practically it is a first order reaction. The decomposition of H2O2 is a first order reaction. Again, don't be confused with the order of the reaction, because order of the reaction can be expressed or calculated through the experimental value, not by the equation. So that here it is not 2, there is no surprise in it. Actually, if you see the mechanism, it will occur in 2 steps. This is carried in the presence of a catalyst like I minus, and it is in alkali medium, alkaline medium, basic medium. So that if you see first step, 1 mole of hydrogen peroxide reacts with I minus to form water and IO minus intermediate. This is the step 1. Why I said that laterally or apparently it is seem to be 2 order, but it is not 2. Why? Because for this we need to study the mechanism. So here this is the first step. If you take the second step, the IO minus intermediate formed will react with 1 more hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. Here it gives rise to H2O plus O2 plus I minus. I minus is the catalyst here. So it is consumed during the first step of the reaction and it is given back in the second step again. But these are the 2 steps involved in this mechanism of this reaction. But here it is the slowest step. Between these two, this is very fast. The second step is very fast, but the first step is very slow. This step is called as a rate determining step. What is a rate determining step? Very important concept. Rate determining step is the slowest step. Rate determining step means the slowest step. If you take complex reactions, there are several steps in that reaction, but the slowest step will be taken or chosen for the rate determination, because the remaining steps will occur very fastly, so that they will occur within no time. So that for rate, time is very important, so that only the slow step is consuming almost entire time. That is why only the slowest step of a chemical reaction will be taken as the rate determining step. So even in complex reactions, as I said, molecularity we can say only for the slowest step. For overall reaction, the molecularity in a complex reaction, there is no meaning in it, we can't say. But if you want to say the molecularity, you can take the slowest step, and for that slowest step we can say the molecularity, not for the entire reaction. So rate determining step is nothing but the slowest step in the chemical reaction. So this is all about the molecularity. So molecularity is a theoretical value, and elementary reactions have the molecularity. There is no molecularity for the complex reactions. If at all we want to tell the molecularity for a complex reaction, we can take the rate determining step. Only for that step we call it as the molecularity, not for the entire reaction. And please remember that elementary reactions will be completed in one step, whereas complex reactions will take more than one step, 2 or more. That is most important. So this is what about the molecularity. So molecularity is simply the number of reacting molecules that are colliding simultaneously in a chemical reaction. Maybe molecules or ions or atom, but it is a theoretical value. Now can we compare the molecularity with order? Let us see. And one more important thing, why we have chosen slowest step can be explained by other factor also. For example, if any event like running race is occurring, there the relay running race. Relay running race means you will know that several people will be running, not a single person. There will be a team, not one person will be running, a team will be running. So in that the winning chances of any team will depend upon the slowest runner. For example, if 10 members are there, 9 can run very fastly, and the winning chances of that running race will be depending on the 10th person, because he is the slowest runner. He is the slowest among all the other members. So that the winning chances will be decided or affected by the slowest runner. In the same way, in any chemical reaction, the slowest step will be taken as the rate determining step. Remaining steps will be occurring within no time. So rate means time frame. That is why slowest step is taken as the rate determining step. Now, if you compare molecularity and order, what you can know, first of all, what is the molecularity? It is the number of ions or molecules or atoms involving atoms or molecules involving in collisions to form the products. So it is the number of atoms or ions or molecules that are simultaneously colliding to form the product. Order is nothing but the sum of the powers. It is sum of the powers of concentration terms in a rate law. This is the first one. Second one is order can be molecularity never zero. It cannot be zero. Never it is zero. It is never zero. But here it can be zero also. Already we know that can be zero. So it can be zero. And importantly, it is a whole number here. Molecularity is a whole number. But here it can be any number. It can be fraction, or it can be negative, or it can be any integer. So this is the major difference. And the molecularity of a reaction will not be affected by the reaction factors. For example, temperature, pressure, other conditions. If you molecularity will be same. Molecularity remains the same even if you alter the reaction conditions, but order can be changed. It depends upon the reaction conditions also. It can be changed. It can be dependent on the other conditions like temperature and all. So this is the major difference between order and molecularity. Now let us move to the next concept. So we had learned what is meant by molecularity and what is meant by order. Now let us go to the integral rate equation. So today we had learned what is an order, what is a molecularity, and we have made a comparison between the molecularity and the order. Now we will go for the integral rate equation. Already we have written the rate equation. So now we are going to write the rate equation in the other form. It is very important. Always we get a question from it. Integral rate equation or rate law. Look here, if you take chemical reaction, R is giving rise to P. Here we have written as rate is equals to minus dr by dt. This is called as a differential rate equation, that we have written like a k into r power k into r or some power x or something we are writing based on the order. If it is first order we write 1, second order we write 2. But anyway, this one is called as a differential form because we have taken differential form. So if you take a differential form, what is the difficulty in determining the rate is, actually in the last class I told you that we have drawn a graph. From that graph we have drawn a tangent at a particular point. Based on the slope of the tangent we could determine the rate, so that it is somewhat difficult. So if any slight deviation occurs, entirely the rate will be altered. So that by differential form the determination of the rate will be somewhat difficult. So that we derive the same in integration form. That is nothing but integral rate equation. What is an integral rate equation? So when you differentiate the differential rate equation, we will get the integral rate equation. So let us go to the concept directly. First of all, we derive the rate equation for zero order. Then we will go to the first order. First we consider the zero order rate equation, integral rate equation. First of all, what is a zero order? So order can be zero, already I told you. The reaction in which the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the zeroth power is called as a zero order reaction. For example, here rate is directly proportional to 0, it is zeroth order. If it is 1, it is first order. It is 2, then it is second order. But you can define it in another way also. Zero order reaction is a reaction where the rate of reaction is independent on the concentrations of the concentration of reactants is known as a zero order reaction. That won't depend. So I will write some examples. So the sum of the powers is 0 here, or you can say it is independent on the concentration of the reactant. The rate of reaction will not be depending on the concentrations of the reactant. That is called as a zero order reaction. I will write one example so that you will understand in a better way. For example, let us consider the decomposition of ammonia in the presence of platinum catalyst at 1130 Kelvin. It gives rise to ammonia, gives rise to nitrogen and hydrogen. It decomposes. But here the rate of reaction will not be dependent on the concentration of the ammonia. In fact, it depends only on the catalyst, because catalyst will be deciding the rate here. Even if you increase the concentration of the ammonia, there will not be any change in the rate. So that is independent. So now if I write rate law for it, rate experimentally determine that rate is equals to K into, here it is ammonia power 0. Actually here 2 is there, but I am putting 0 here. Why? Because the rate is directly proportional to 0th power. Independent means power 0. Rate is independent on the concentration of ammonia. Even you can consider one more to understand in a better way. Hydrogen combines with chlorine in the presence of light to give rise to hydrochloric acid. Here also, even if you increase or decrease, if you change the concentration, the rate will not be affected. By increasing the concentration of H2 and Cl2, the rate will not be increased. Why? Here it depends only on the intensity of the light. That means here rate law, what is it? K into H2 power 0 and Cl2 power 0. If you add those two, 0 plus 0 again will get 0. So order is 0. So here it is independent on the concentrations of the reactants depending on the light. But anyway, it is a zero order reaction. The reaction in which the rate of reaction is independent on the concentrations of the reactants is called as a zero order reaction. Now let us derive an integral rate equation for a zero order reaction. Later we will derive an integral equation for a first order reaction. So here in a zero order, the rate will not be dependent on the concentrations of the reactants. That is why it is called as a zero order reaction. Now let us consider one equation here. First, for derivation, I will consider one equation. R is giving rise to P. Now it is a zero order reaction, so that what is the rate law? Rate is equals to K into R power 0, because it is a zero order reaction. But what is the rate here in the differential form? We know that it is minus dr by dt. D means small change, so dr by dt. Our rate means what we write, minus dr by dt, decrease in the concentration of the reactant by time, is equals to K into R power 0. That implies minus dr by dt is equals to K into any power 0 is 1, so that it will become 1. That implies I will send the d2 to that side, it will become differentiation of dr is equals to, negative sign is also transposed there, it will become K into dt. So just I am sending this dt to that side, we are getting minus K dt. Now I will integrate on both the sides. What I will get? The integration of dr is equals to minus K into integration of dt. So I have integrated on either sides. Now what is integration of dr? We know the formula. Integration of dx is equals to x. So in the same way, integration of dr is equals to r minus K into integration of dt will become t. As integration dx is equals to x, integration of dt will become t. So it is minus kt. But after integration we will introduce a constant of integration. I is the constant of integration here. So this is equation 1. So once again I will say here, first we have written the equation. As it is a zero order, we will put 0 here because it is independent on the reactant concentration. That means we will put 0. First order means we will put 1 here. Second order means we will put 2 here. So now rate means we know in the differential form it is minus dr by dt is equals to K into R power 0 is 1. On integration, this is the equation. Now we have to find the I value. Remember that in every type of integral rate equation, while determining the I value, we consider t as 0. I will tell you what is meant by t 0. That means at the beginning of the reaction. That means the reaction even not started. The time is 0 seconds. That means the reaction is not started. No products formed. So at that juncture, what is meant by R here? The concentration of the reactants. We say R as R naught. Please remember that the concentration of the reactants at the beginning is called as, when the reaction is not commenced, is called as R naught. R naught is nothing but the concentration of the reactant at 0 time. Now if you substitute this R naught here, what we are going to get is integration, R is equals to minus K into t value is 0 here, and I will be I here, and I told you that R will become R naught. So here R place we have R naught. That implies I is equals to R0. I value is R0. So this is the value. Now if you substitute that in equation 1, what we have here, is equals to minus kT plus R naught. This is, let this equation as 2. Now I will take same terms on this side. KT is taken to this side. It will become kT is equals to R0 minus R. That implies K is equals to R naught minus concentration of R divided by T. This is called as the integral rate equation for a first order reaction. What is the integral rate equation for a first order? K is equals to R naught minus R by T. So this is the derivation of integral rate equation. But after deriving integral rate equation, we draw a graph for each and every order, for 0 order or first order or second order, whatever it is. We first derive, then we draw a graph, and then we'll go for the half-life. Let us see the graph here. So how the graph is drawn? Look here, if you see the equation number 2, what is the equation number 2 here? R is equals to minus kT plus R naught. Observe that equation. From that equation we are going to draw the graph for a 0 order reaction. So we are going to draw graph for a 0 order reaction by taking this one. Look here, it is looking like y is equals to mx plus c. You can see here. Y means here R. That means the reactant's concentration is taken on y axis. And here, what is taken on x axis? T is taken on x axis. So we take the concentration of the reactants on y axis and we take the time interval on x axis. Now look here, if you draw a graph, we will get a straight line that is intersecting the y axis. This is the graph that we get, because slope intercept form here. What you see here, intercept on y axis. That means the line is meeting y axis at R naught. This is R naught here. So this is the graph for 0 order. But what is the slope of the graph? Can you guess the slope here? So m is equals to minus k. That means slope is equals to minus k. Rk is equals to minus slope. You can say slope minus k is equals to slope here, because here. So if you find the slope of this equation, what you will get? You will get minus k. Slope means here y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, or you can say distance on the y-axis divided by distance on the x-axis. So in this way we can determine the slope. So this is the graph. We have taken the concentration of the reactants on y-axis, time on x-axis. We got a straight line that is intersecting y-axis at R naught, and the slope of this graph is minus k. Now what is the last part in this integral rate equation is half-life. So we are going to consider the half-life. So first we have derived the integral rate equation. Now we are going for the half-life of a reaction. What is meant by half-life? First of all, you might have heard several times in case of radio disintegration. Let me introduce first of all what is meant by half-life. The symbol for it is T off. For example, I have taken some 6 moles per liter of reactant. Slowly what will happen to the reactant? Its concentration will be decreased. It will become 5.9, 5.8, 5.6, like that it will be gradually decreased. So what I can say is the concentration will be brought down from 6 to it comes to 3 after some time. What is the half of 6 moles per liter? 3. So now what is the time that is required to reduce the concentration of the reactants to the half of the initial concentration is known as half-life. If 10 moles is taken at half-life time, what will be the concentration? 5 moles per liter. But here the time is important. The time that is required to reduce the concentration of the reactants to the half of the initial concentration is known as a half-life. That means to understand this, for example, if R0 is the initial concentration, then what will be the concentration at half-life? it will become half of it. That means R0 by 2. So based on this, let us try to derive the half-life for this equation. Now we'll take this equation. K is equals to, at half-life it is R0 minus, but at half-life R is equals to what I told, half of the initial concentration. R naught means concentration at the beginning at 0 seconds. R means concentration during the progress of the reaction. What it will become? It will become half of the initial R will be half of the initial that is nothing but after T off it will become R naught by 2 and T will become T off. Now if I transpose, what I will get? T off is equals to, let us simplify this equation. So it is R naught by 2, it is R naught by 2 here. So 2 into R naught, 2 R naught, 2 R naught minus R naught, that is R naught, so that it will become R0 by 2. When you send this K, it will become K. So T off is equals to R0 by 2K. This is the formula for half-life of any zero order reaction. So half-life is T off is equals to R naught by 2K. It is the derivation. Just simply what we have to do, wherever R is there, we have to put R naught by 2. R naught is the initial concentration. So R means concentration after T time. So what is the concentration after half-life? Half of the initial concentration. That is R naught by 2. So we have to replace R with the R naught by 2. We will get simply the half-life. But here 2 is constant and K is constant. If you remove the constant, what we will get? T off is directly proportional to the R naught. That means half-life of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to the initial concentration of the reactants. So half-life of a zero order reaction is directly proportional to the half-life of a initial concentration of a zero order reaction. For this only for a zero order reaction. So today we have derived the integral equation and a graph for it, and also we have derived a equation for a half-life. Let us do some objective questions based on our understanding up to now on chemical kinetics. Let us go for multiple choice questions. The first multiple choice question I will discuss is rate of a reaction is change in concentration of dash in a given temperature. So what is meant by rate of a reaction? Change in concentration of dash. It is a change in concentration of reactant or product in a given interval of time. So what is the right option here? First one is products, second one is reactants, third one product or reactants, D none. So that right option is products or reactants, that is option C. Now let us go for the second question. Units of rate. So what are the units of rate here? Rate means, it is the concentration divided by time. Concentration is expressed in moles per liter, that is moles into liter inverse, and time inverse. Numerator is concentration, denominator is time. Concentration means moles per liter, denominator is time. Time is in the denominator, that is it is becoming time inverse. So what are the units of rate? Moles, liter inverse, time inverse are the units. Let us go for the next question. Rate of a reaction at an instant of time is, at any particular point or instant of time is known as a instantaneous rate of reaction. Average rate means it is the change in the concentration at a given interval of time. But at any instant of time, the change in the concentration is called as an instantaneous rate of reaction. So here the right option is B, instantaneous reaction. Next question. The rate for, here some reaction is given, 2NO plus O2 is giving rise to 2NO2. Rate for this reaction in terms of NO. We have to take NO. What is the formula for rate? Rate is equals to, so I told you that we have to write it like minus whatever the coefficient that is inverted, 1 by 2 dNO by dt. This is the rate with respect to NO, or you can write with oxygen also. Here it is not asked, but if it is asked what is it for oxygen, it is dO2 by dt. Same negative sign indicates decrease here. If any coefficient is there, that is inverted here. And for even product, you can write it is dNO2 by dt. But what is the coefficient here? 2 is there, so that it will become 1 by 2. Remember, this entire term is called as a rate, but this part is called as a rate of disappearance, because in a chemical reaction, reactant will disappear, products will be formed. So this part leaving this coefficient is called as rate of disappearance. This part is called as a rate, and also it is rate of disappearance. If there is no coefficient, only one is there, then rate of disappearance is same as rate. But if coefficient is there, we have to leave that coefficient, and remaining part is called as a disappearance for a reactant. It is a rate of appearance. dNO2 by dt is called as rate of appearance. But rate means plus 1 by 2 into dNO2 by dt. So here what is the question asked is in terms of nitric oxide. This is the right option. So here that option is I will see. So the last option is the right option. Let us go for the next question. For the reaction N2 plus 3H2, rate of disappearance of nitrogen is 0.2 moles per liters per second. Then rate of appearance of NH3. Just what is given here, N2 plus 3H2 is given like 2NH3. Now here the relation is between nitrogen and ammonia. So how to write the rate with respect to nitrogen here? Rate is equals to, with respect to nitrogen it is minus dN2 by dt, and ammonia is given here. We don't need hydrogen here because the problem is related to nitrogen and ammonia. So with respect to ammonia it is plus 1 by 2 into dNH3 by dt. Now here what they had given the rate of disappearance of nitrogen. Just now I have told you what is meant by rate of disappearance. The rate of disappearance for nitrogen is given. That means that this value is given. Please ignore the signs. Signs are not needed when we are talking about the rates. So what is given here? dN2 by dt is given. We have to find the rate of appearance of ammonia. So what is the relation here? Ignore the negative sign. I am once again saying rate of disappearance means d of N2 by dt for nitrogen, that is equals to how many times? 1 by 2 times of rate of appearance of ammonia. This is the relation. That means what is the rate of appearance of ammonia? If you send this to 2 into dN2 by dt will be the rate of appearance of ammonia. This is appearance of ammonia, but this value is given here. What is it? 0.2 moles per liters per second. So that it is 2 into 0.2 into dNH3 by dt. So what is the rate of disappearance of ammonia? That is equals to 0.4 moles per liters per second. Please once again remember that if you leave the coefficient here, that will become the disappearance for a reactant. For a product we call it as a appearance, but this coefficient has to be ignored. The sign should also be ignored. So this is what the problem is. Let us move to the next question. If the rate law for a reaction is K into A power minus 1 into B power 1, then what is the overall order of the reaction? Please remember that here the question is overall order. Overall order means for entire reaction what is the order. So here first I will write what is given here. So they had given rate law K into rate law, rate is equals to K into rate is equals to K into A power minus 1 into B power 1. Now what is the order? Overall order is simply the sum of the powers. It is nothing but minus 1 and plus 1. It is 0. I was saying that this is overall order of the reaction. But the order with respect to A is minus 1 and with respect to the reactant B is 1. So individual order will also be there, and also overall order. Overall order means we have to add all the powers. Now let us go for the next objective question. Here K of a reaction is given, that is a rate constant 0.1 into 10 power 2. Then the order is, here the units are also given, moles per liter per second. I already told you, when you know the order you can write the units for K. If you know the units of K you can find the order. So these are the units for a zero order reaction. So what is the order of the reaction? It is a zero order reaction. Please remember that the K value for a particular reaction is constant at a particular temperature. When you increase the temperature, the velocity constant will also be increased. Rate may be varying. For example, if you take some reactions, initially the rate will be very fast and it will become slow. But rate constant will remain always constant. For a particular temperature, the K value for a particular reaction remains constant. And let us go for the next question. So that here, based on the units, we could say what is the order of the reaction. We all know that moles per liters per second is for zero order, second inverse for first order. And what is it for second order? Liters, mole inverse, second inverse. Or you can write time inverse also. Now let us go for the next object. So here rate of a rate constant for a reaction is given like a rate is equals to K into A power 2 into B power 1. Then if you double the concentration of the A, then the rate of reaction will be. So here what they are doing, they are doubling the concentration. So initially the rate R1 is equals to this one. If we double the concentration, second condition, what will happen? K into, they are doubling the concentration of A. That means it will become 2A whole square into B power 1. Now what is R2? 4K. 2 square is 4. So that is 4K into A power 2 into B power 1. Look here what happened. So this is exactly 4 times to the R1. Or you can divide and find. If you are feeling difficult, you can divide. This is equation 2. Now let us divide 2 divided by 1. R2 divided by R1 is equals to 4K into A power 2 into B power 1 divided by K into A power 2 into B power 1. All the terms gets cancelled here. So that means R2 is equals to 4 into R1. That means the rate of reaction will be increased by 4 times. So here the right option is, first one is the rate will be doubled, no change, it will become 4 times, it will become 8 times. So what is the correct option? It will become how many times? It will become 4 times. So this is the way. So even you can change B also based on the problem we have done. For example, if we, in the question, if both the concentrations are doubled, then it will become 2A and then this will become 2B, and we calculate the rate accordingly. Next question, molecularity cannot be 0, 1, 2, 3. Molecularity just now I told you, never it can be 0. Molecularity cannot be 0. And even it is not possible to have a negative value. It is always a whole number and integer. So positive value here, and that is also integer. Next, which of the following is experimentally determined? Order, molecularity, both, none. We all know that order is experimentally determined. Order is experimentally determined. So molecularity is a theoretical value. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you.